Hello, I am Ami Kapadia, and in this tutorial I am going to teach you about different options and CRUD operations using Kendo UI Grid in MVC.NET. Okay, so in our previous video we just seen this demo. We created this demo called demo 4 and this was its output. Okay, in this demo what we have done is we created a database table class called dbstudent. Then in this we just created three properties which are there in our database, SQL database. Then this is the constructor of the class. In here I passed all these three parameters just to set the values. Then this second class is our model class. It is present here, student.cs, in the model folder. Here what I have done, I just created one method that is returning data table. Okay, and it is just a database connection with SQL. So I created SQL connection object, then I fetched data using the data adapter, I fill it into the data set, and I returned the 0th table of the data set. From student controller I just called that method getStudents of model, student model, and it returned data table. I converted the data table into the list of dbstudent using this for each loop, and then I just returned that list in JSON format. Okay, and what I have done, this fetch data, I just called this from the Kendo grid from view here, student fetch data. Okay, in transport read means it will fetch the data from here. Okay, and then I created grid and I just gave the data source which I created earlier. So this is the basic example of Kendo UI Grid. Today I am going to show you the editing option available in Kendo UI Grid. First is inline editing. Okay, so what is this inline editing option? It allows us to insert, update and delete the data from the Kendo grid itself. For example, if I click on this add new record, it gives me the empty blank space here. Okay, this is called inline. Okay, suppose I am giving some data here. This is true and false. I am just saying true and update. So this record it inserted. Okay, then edit. So here they provide the data to edit and then update. So data is updated and this is delete. It asks for a verification, and if I press OK, then our data is deleted from the grid. Okay, so this is called inline editing. Let's see its source code. Okay, so this is the variable for data source which we created it in our demo, and here in Kendo grid they give that variable as a data source of the Kendo grid. Okay, so let's see what is there in the Kendo data source variable. Okay, it is the object of Kendo.data.data source. Okay, and same way we created in our demo Kendo.data.data source and we called it as a DS. And in transport I just use read. Why? Because till now what we have done, we just completed the reading section. Okay, we have not done any insert, update and delete operations. So I just write here read options and it just read data from the data source. Okay, okay, here there are so many options: create, destroy and update. This is for adding a new record, this is for deleting, and this is for updation. And another is parameter map. Okay, what this parameter map is doing, it is doing just sending the parameters with this request. For example, if I am adding a new record, right, so it will go to this URL products/create and creating the object, I need the data from here, data from the view. Why? Because I have added the data on the view side, okay, on the grid. So I need to pass that data using along with this request products create. Okay, so for that passing the data, I am using this parameter map. And what is here written? If operation is not equals to read. Why? Because while reading, I don't need to set any parameters. Okay, reading is the operation that it just fire the select star query on the database, like select star from student, and data is coming from the read operation. Okay, we are not passing anything like id or some form data, we are not passing anything in read. So here I am just writing if operation is not equals to read, means what? Operation can be either create or destroy or update. Okay, so in these three cases I am passing the parameters, and in read case I am not passing any parameters. And options dot models. Okay, what this options dot model is doing? Okay, so options is the first parameter of this parameter map function. Okay, it in that options we are having one object called models, and in this models it has entire data of the recent row. Means if I am adding the record, right, and pressing on the save button, okay, it has the all the options, all the data of that particular newly inserted row in this options dot model. For example, in our demo, what we are doing is student dot list. This is our page. In our demo we are having three columns, right? For example, first is id, second is name, and third is address. Okay, so what this options dot models will have, it will have the all three options of the recent row. Okay, and what is the recent row? If you are adding a new record, right, so newly added row is your recent row. If you are deleting or editing a particular row, then that particular row is your recent row. Okay, so options dot models have the entire data of the recent row, and we are just returning that data, and its name is models. We are passing the JSON data. The name of the key value pair is, means key of the key value pair is models, and its value is candor.stringify options.models. Means we have just stringified this options.models option. Okay. Okay, so let's code. Here in read, we have to write all these things: update, create, destroy, and parameter map. I am copying it and I am pasting it after read. Okay, so here after read, enter, pasting the things. Okay, and our data type will be JSON. Okay, and here we are going with type post. Why? Because we are sending the post request. Okay, like this. And parameter map will be as it is, because we don't want to send anything with read operation. We are just going to send the current recent rows data with create, destroy, and update operations. Okay, and here we have to change the URL. And what will be the URL? So URL will be the methods of controller. Okay, so we have to create some methods in the student controller. I'm just stopping the debugging. Here we have to create some few more methods: public, action result, create student. Okay, create student, and it is returning the view. Same way I'm just copying and pasting it. Okay, these are the three different methods: create, update and delete. Okay, these are the three methods we will use. And one more thing, yeah, they are post methods, right? We just added the type post, so we have to add here HTTP post option before each and every methods. If we don't write it, it is by default HTTP get. Okay. And here we are sending the data from list.cshtml using this options.models. Okay, so this data will be here in the bracket, right? That data is passing as a parameter, so we have to add some parameter in this all these three methods, and that parameter is of type form collection. There is one object in the .NET called form collection. It is having all the data and its name is something like object. Okay, so I am just copying it and pasting it here and here. Okay, I am putting a debug point here, here, here. So if it will come inside this any of the method, then we can just debug it. Okay, so I am just copying its name and I am pasting it in our Kendo grid. So here /student/ this is update. Okay, so update students method. Double quotes. Copying it, pasting it here and pasting it here. This is destroy, so we named it as delete student, and this is create, we named it as create student. Create student, right? Yes, create student, update student, delete student. Yeah, same name we have to give here. Saving it. Okay, so this is the entire transport section. Transport is like it is having all the options to call the different operations. Now going ahead in the demo, it's here. Okay, now batch row, then schema. Okay, this is our entire schema of our database. Okay, so I am just copying this section and pasting it there. We don't need pagination right now, so I am just omitting the pagination after transport. Okay, this is the bracket of transport. Our transport is over here. Look, this is the curly braces of transport. Our transport is over here, and then all these things are there. Okay, yeah. Okay, so now here I am just omitting the page size, comma, and in schema. Okay, in ID session, what we have to write, the ID of our database. Okay, I am just opening the database. This is the SQL Server database. In the databases, TempDB, and in tables, this table. Okay, right click, design. Our table's name is student table, and it is having 3 columns: ID, roll number, that is the primary key, then name and address. So in id session of this we have to write here roll number. Why? Because roll number column is the primary key of our database. Then another column is name. Okay, so just in the fields also I have to write roll number column, and it is editable false. Why? If we don't want to edit the roll number column of the student table. Okay, why? Because primary key is non-editable. Okay, and nullable true. Nullable true, why? Because whenever we are inserting a new record, right, it can have null value in the roll number. Why? Because it is roll number is assigned after we have inserted the column. Nullable true. Then product name. Instead of this product name, what we have to write here? Name, the second column of our database. Name. Validation required true means this is the validation required true. Then address. We don't have any numeric type, so I am just omitting this numeric type and omitting this validation as well. This is the numeric validation. Like required true means you have to add the number, and minimum one means you have to add the number that is having one or more numbers. Okay, so I'm just omitting this. That's it, and I'm just removing these two columns. We are only having 3 columns. So this is the schema of our table. Okay, so our data source is ready, DS is ready. We just applied it here, DS. Then we have to add some more options into the Kendo grid as well. Okay, so in Kendo grid I have added just data source. Pageable true, I don't want it right now. Height, I am not assigning it. Toolbar create, yes, we need a toolbar for creating a new record. So I am copying it, and I am copying this portion as well. Copy and paste. Okay, so I need toolbar for creating a new record, and in columns I need 3 columns. I'm just omitting this product name. Okay, I need 3 columns. Okay, one is roll number, title is roll space number, format, no, I don't want any format, its width is 120 pixel, that's okay. Then name, sorry, n small. This field and this field's name should be same. This name and this name should be same. Okay, in title you can write anything like name of the student or anything. Then address, and here I don't need any editor right now. Sorry, adding the title. Address. Okay, name will be having 300 pixel and this 200 pixel or 22. Okay, and another command. Okay, we need 2 more columns here for edit and destroy, and its title is we can give any title like action, and it's with it 250. Okay, perfect. Save. Editable inline. We are doing the editable inline option. Okay, checking the code. Okay, let's refresh this page. taking some time to load. Yeah. Okay, so this is the grid of Kendo UI. Why it is like this? Because I have applied the metro theme here. That's why it is looking like this. Okay, let's try add a new record. So it is giving me 2 empty spaces. Why here there is no why here there is no text box? Because we have written here editable false. If I do it true, then it will have a text box there as well. Okay, refresh it. Okay, so now if I click on add new, it is having a text box in roll number also. This is also there. Okay, let's add some data for Rishi and Fisu update. Okay, let's see what is happening. Look, it goes into the create student method. Okay, and in this object, what we are having is all keys. There is one key model. Let's have, okay, this is model, and its value is, what is the value of the model? All keys, there is only one key, 0 model. Then we are not able to see its data here. Please. We are not able to see the data. Okay, for seeing the data, okay, that means there is one parameter is there, and its key is models, and in the value it is having the all the options of the particular row. Okay, for seeing the data, we have to serialize this JSON data that is coming from the Kendo grid. Okay, right now I'm just continuing it. Okay, so this data is inserted. Then I am clicking on this edit. So it is giving me this kind of structure. Okay, why address is not coming? Wait. Address column is not coming from the database. Address here. Address. Oh, spelling mistake. ADDRESS. Okay, so now it is also showing the address. Now I am going to click edit. So it is giving me the pre-written data, updating it and calling the update. So it will go in the update student. Okay, here it is. It will going in the update students, and in this object it is also having one key, that is models. Okay, continuing it. and in the delete it is just showing us the confirmation. If I click on OK, it will go into the delete student. Okay, all the operations are going fine into its appropriate methods. Okay, now we are just writing the coding for the insert, update and delete. Stopping it. Okay, now here in the create student, okay, as I have told you earlier that I have to serialize the JSON data coming in the object. Okay, so for that what I have to do is JSON converter dot deserialize, like this. I have to, and it is having the list. Okay, so I have to create here the object of list of our database class, that is db underscore student. I am giving it the name lst is equals to JSON converter. I have to import its namespace dot deserialize the object, and here it have to convert it into the list of db underscore student. It have to convert it into this, and obj instead of obj1 obj, because it is the name of the form collection, obj0. okay, what is the obj0? obj0 is having the first key, that is models. Okay, and it is what is there in the models, it is having array of the rows. Okay, so create student, so it is having lst. Now what we have to do here, in the model student.cs I am creating one more method called public void insert student, and here I am passing 3 parameters, or I can just pass the object db student object, db student obj. Okay, and here I have to make the object of connection, then con dot open, con dot close, open close, then here one method insert, for insert. Okay, which object I will create? SQL command cmd is equals to new SQL command, in bracket we will use this. Okay, so insert into student values, in bracket double quotes over plus plus, here obj dot roll number dot toString. Okay, then comma, single quotes for name, comma, single quotes for address, here ending double quotes plus plus, here ending double quotes plus plus. Okay, there are 3 plus. Okay, here what I have to write, obj dot name, and here obj dot address, that's it, and comma the object of connection, that is con. Okay, so this command is ready, there is no error, right? Okay, so I need to execute this command, cmd dot execute non-query. I don't need any return in the query, so execute non-query, that's it, connection close. Okay, so this is the logic for inserting the record in the student table. So I need to call that from here. So I am making the object of student model, student obj s is equals to new student, and I am calling that method obj s dot insert student. here I have to pass the object. Okay, so LST of 0. Okay, LST of 0 means 0th object of DB student. That's it. Okay. Okay, one more thing. After insertion means after saving the data, okay, we have to refresh our data grid, Kendo grid. So for that, what I have to do, I have to call this save method. Okay, in the section of grid, what I have to do is save method, and in this save method, what I have to do, grid 1, we are having id grid 1, so I am just copying grid 1 dot Kendo grid data Kendo grid dot data source dot read, means it will go back into the data source and it will call this read method fetch data. So after insert or update or delete, we are making sure that it is calling the read method again. Okay, so all the data from the database will be reloaded into the data grid. Otherwise it will not reflect on the, if you are inserting a record or if you are deleting a record, then it will not reflect it to your grid if you are not refreshing it in the save method. So for that, what I have to write here, save, and here I use set timeout. Why? Because it is taking a little while after saving. Okay, means I need to wait until the data is saved into database, and then I need to refresh this grid. Okay, okay, so now let's check the insert operation. We need to refresh this, closing this. Okay, so I am clicking on the add new record, adding the record 4, Rishi, address Vesu VIP Road, and clicking on the update. So it will go to our debugging. Yeah, it is in the create student. Okay, I am doing it step by step. Okay, now let's see what is there in our list. Count 1 and 0. We are having roll number 4, name Rishi, address Vesu VIP Road. Okay, means we whatever we are having in this object 0. Okay, let's add watch. Sorry, object 0, right click, add watch. Okay, this is our data coming from the data grid, that is roll number 4. This is JSON data. Okay, and look, it is having the list. That's why we are converting it into the list. Okay, why? Because it is having it is just passing one object but into the list. Can you see the square bracket? Square bracket is for listing. Okay, in that we are having one object with all the data, roll number 4, name Rishi, and address Vesu VIP Road. Okay, so we are getting proper data and we are converting into the list, that is working properly. Okay, okay, you can have here error. When you will have error, at the time that in your DB student, okay, suppose this name, and in your grid suppose here this name. in the schema. If these don't match, okay, like you are writing here capital and name, and here in the schema session you are writing here small name, then you will definitely get the error in the controller. Okay, so conversion worked properly. Now calling the insert method. Okay, I am going here, insert, sorry, and I am putting the debug point here as well. Continue, so it will come here. Okay, then one by one I am executing. Okay, let's check the command what we have created here. Here, insert into student table values for Rishi Vesu VIP Perfect, and execute non-query. Okay, continue. So our data is inserted. Okay, but it did not refresh. Why? Because I was just debugging it. So the set timer did not work. Let's check after removing all the debug points. Okay, so fourth record is added here. Okay, let's check it after removing all the debug points from here and from student. Okay, so it will work faster. Otherwise I need to just increase the time. Create student. Okay, let's add one more record here. Add new student 5. And sir, update. Can you see it? It comes here. Okay, yeah. So this is the insertion operation of Kendo Grid. Same way you have to code for delete and editing. Okay, I'm just stopping the debugging. You have to follow the same step which we followed for insertion. Okay, I'm just showing you fast manner. Okay, I need to just copying these things into update student and into the delete. Okay, delete and here update. I need to create those methods. Okay, update like this. Now in the model I have to create the methods. Copying this, pasting. This is for update and this is for delete. Okay, saving it. Okay, changing the query. Delete from student where roll number is equals to. Again, instead of this object, okay, just let it be. I am just here writing obj.roll number, no problem. Obj.roll number. That's it. This is the query for delete, and here query for update. Update student set roll number is equals to something, comma, name is equals to something, comma, address is equals to something, where roll number is equals to, like this. So I'm just adding the dynamic parameter obj.roll number. Then here yes, we have to put quotes. Okay, so here double quotes plus and obj.roll number. Then name is equals to double quotes plus obj.name, and here double quotes plus obj.address. That's it. So this is our updates query. Okay, don't have any error, that's good. And here in student controller, oh, U is small. Delete student, yeah, perfect. That's it. Yeah, we are done. Okay, I'm just removing this debug points and running it. Okay, refreshing it. Okay, we are having all the 5 records. Let's check edit. Here I am changing my name from Ami to Ami12, and in Adajan I am adding Adajan Gangeshwar temple update. It is not refreshed. I think it is taking some more time. Yeah, data is updated, but why it is not updated instantly? That's because I think I need to add some time here. It, instead of 200, 500. Okay, yeah, now let's check edit. Oh, refresh. Yeah, now editing it with Gangeshwar, removing temple and update. Yeah, editing instantly. And delete. I am deleting the 5th record. Delete. Okay, and it is gone. Okay, just refreshing it again. And it is having perfect data, right? So this is what add, edit and delete operations using inline editing. Now I am just showing you some more thing. So this was inline, okay, and there is one more pop-up editing. In pop-up editing, they are not giving us the text box in all in our grid, they are just popping it up. There is one pop-up that is coming at the time of insert and update, and for that just I need to write one thing like this. If I am adding the record, it is showing me a pop-up. For this I just have to write one line in the editing section. Look here, editable pop-up, copying it, pasting it in our demo. Here instead of inline, what we have to write pop-up. Okay, let's check. All the other things are same. Yeah, add a new record. Oh, this is the pop-up. I think I have missing some CSS here. Candor CSS. Okay, wait. The pop-up is so big. I think I need to change the CSS. Yeah, this is the pop-up. Look. Okay, delete. In delete there is no pop-up. In add new record and in editing there is a pop-up. If I'm pressing cancel, it goes again. Edit. Okay, let's edit it. Instead of AMI12, I'm just doing it as AMI and update. Yeah, AMI. Okay, that's it. Okay, so I hope you guys understand all the operations using CandoGrid in the inline mode and in the pop-up mode. Okay, so see you in the next video. Bye.